Before the taco became a global obsession, it was a literal weapon, named after paper-wrapped gunpowder explosives used in 18th century Mexican silver mines. Long before that, ancient Aztec street vendors were filling corn tortillas with mind-bending delicacies like grasshoppers, lake fly eggs, and wild game. Even Mexico's iconic taco al pastor wasn't created by locals, but by Middle Eastern immigrants adapting Lebanese shawarma spits. From explosive mining charges and ancient insect feasts to a multi-billion-dollar fast food empire, this is the shocking, untold history of the taco. Long before the word taco ever existed, the concept of wrapped food was born in Mesoamerica. Thousands of years before European ships ever sighted the Americas, Mesoamerican civilizations laid the groundwork for what we know today as the taco. The entire foundation rested on one crucial crop: corn. Around 1500 BCE, ancient indigenous communities developed a brilliant chemical breakthrough known as nixtamalization. They realized that raw corn kernels were hard, difficult to digest, and lacking in vital nutrients. To fix this, they soaked and boiled the corn in an alkaline solution, typically water mixed with wood ash or slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. This process softened the corn's outer hull, unlocked essential niacin, vitamin B3, and allowed the corn to be ground into a smooth, workable dough called masa. Using flat stones called metates, indigenous women spent hours grinding this nixtamalized corn into dough, shaping it by hand into thin, flat discs, and baking them on hot clay griddles called comils. The Aztecs called these flatbreads tlaxcali, which the Spanish conquistadors would later rename tortillas. In ancient Tenochtitlan, the tlaxcali served a dual purpose. It was both food and utensil. Field workers, Aztec soldiers on campaign, and market traders needed portable sustenance, so they wrapped their daily meals inside warm tortillas. The fillings, however, were vastly different from modern beef or chicken tacos. The Aztecs filled their tortillas with whatever the rich ecosystem provided. Lake delicacies, small fish, waterflies, and ahuatl, the tiny, edible eggs of water bugs, often referred to as Aztec caviar. Insects and game, toasted grasshoppers, chapulines, ant larvae, Eskimos, wild turkey, rabbit, and venison. Staples, beans, squash, nopal cactus, and intense salsas ground from wild chilies. When Spanish conquistador Bernal Diaz del Castillo recorded the conquest of Mexico in the 1500s, he documented the very first European account of a taco feast. Hosted by Hernán Cortés for his captains in Coyoacán, the feast featured European pork served wrapped in native flatbreads, the literal collision of old and New World food traditions. Despite thousands of years of tortilla wrapping history, the word taco didn't exist in the indigenous Nahuatl language, nor was it used during the early centuries of Spanish rule. The origin of the word itself stems from an unexpected place: 18th century Mexican silver mines. During the 1700s, mines like those in Real del Monte, Hidalgo, were booming. Mexican miners faced grueling, highly dangerous conditions deep underground. To break through solid rock faces, they used small explosive charges made by wrapping gunpowder tightly in small paper cartridges. The miners called these paper-wrapped explosives tacos. When these miners took their midday meal breaks underground, they ate hot food prepared by their wives or local market women. The meal consisted of seasoned meat, potatoes, or spicy beans wrapped tightly in a corn tortilla. Because the tight, rolled shape of the meal visually resembled the paper gunpowder charges they handled all day, the miners jokingly referred to their lunches as tacos de minero, miners' tacos. The connection went beyond appearance. Just like the paper explosives, these meals delivered a sudden, intense burst of heat and energy from the fiery chili peppers inside. By the late 19th century, as industrialization changed Mexico's economy, thousands of former silver miners migrated to Mexico City looking for work. They brought their regional culinary habits and their mining slang with them. Working-class neighborhood markets and street corners soon began popping up with portable wooden stands selling cheap, warm tacos de minero to factory workers, street sweepers, and laborers. The word quickly shed its association with gunpowder, and became the universal Mexican term for any food wrapped inside a tortilla. If you walk down any street in Mexico City today, you will inevitably see giant, vertical spits of red marinated pork spinning slowly against open flames, topped with a single, peeled pineapple. This is taco al pastor, widely considered the king of Mexican street tacos. Yet, the story behind this iconic dish doesn't start in Mexico. It traces back thousands of miles away to the Middle East. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, as the Ottoman Empire began to collapse, waves of Middle Eastern immigrants left modern-day Lebanon, Syria, and Palestine in search of new opportunities. Between 1900 and 1930, thousands of Lebanese Christians arrived at the port of Veracruz and settled in central Mexico, particularly in the city of Puebla. They brought their rich culinary traditions with them, most notably a passion for shawarma, a dish made by stacking thinly sliced, marinated lamb on a vertical spit, known as a trompo or top, and shaving it into warm pita bread. In Puebla, immigrant families opened small eateries serving what they called tacos Arabs, Arab-style tacos. These early versions stayed close to the Lebanese tradition. Lamb meat roasted on vertical spits, wrapped in a thick, pita-like bread called pan Arab, and seasoned with Middle Eastern spices. However, as second-generation Mexican Lebanese cooks took over the kitchens, the recipe began to rapidly evolve to suit local tastes and budgets. Swapping the meat, lamb was expensive and less common in central Mexico, so local cooks replaced it with readily available, affordable pork. The Mexican marinade. The subtle spices of the Middle East were replaced with an intense Mexican marinade made from ground achiote seeds, dried guajillo chilies, vinegar, garlic, and local herbs, giving the pork its distinct, vibrant red color. The tortilla shift. The thick pan Arab was swapped out for small, fresh corn tortillas, making the dish cheaper and easier to eat on the go. The pineapple masterstroke. To crown the top of the spinning spit, cooks added a whole, skinless pineapple. As the meat roasted, juices from the pineapple trickled down the vertical spit, using natural enzymes, bromelain, to tenderize the pork while adding a burst of sweet acidity to balance the rich, spicy flavor. By the 1960s, these adapted tacos Arabs migrated from Puebla into the heart of Mexico City, where street vendors renamed them tacos al pastor, literally meaning shepherd-style tacos, referencing the original lamb-herding roots of the dish. What started as an immigrant community preserving their heritage transformed into one of the greatest fusion dishes in culinary history, a seamless blend of Ottoman roasting technique and ancient Mexican ingredients. By the early 20th century, the taco had solidified its role as Mexico's definitive street food. But as thousands of Mexican families migrated north into the American Southwest seeking work on railways, copper mines, and agricultural fields, they brought their culinary traditions with them. Cities like LA, San Antonio, and El Paso saw the rise of street carts run by Mexican women, often dubbed chili queens, who served inexpensive, freshly made tacos to working-class communities. Initially, non-Hispanic Americans viewed these street tacos with suspicion, often dismissing them as too spicy, exotic, or unhygienic. Moreover, traditional soft corn tortillas had a major structural drawback for high-volume commercial sales. They went stale quickly, tore easily when loaded with fillings, and required immediate consumption. To overcome this, Mexican home cooks and small restaurant owners had long utilized a technique called tacos dorados, golden tacos. They filled soft tortillas with shredded meat or potatoes, folded them in half, and fried the entire assembly in hot oil until crunchy. By the 1930s and 1940s, Mexican-American restaurants in California and Texas began pre-frying U-shaped tortilla shells in advance, allowing them to rapidly assemble crisp tacos filled with ground beef, iceberg lettuce, cheddar cheese, and sliced tomatoes, ingredients that appealed directly to American palates. However, the real revolution came down to industrialization. In 1950, a World War II veteran named Glenn Bell ran a small hamburger and hot dog stand in San Bernardino, California. Directly across the street sat Mitla Cafe, a hugely popular Mexican-American restaurant where long lines of patrons waited every evening to buy fried tacos Dorados. Bell watched the crowd and realized two things. First, Americans loved the taste of tacos. Second, the manual process of frying tortillas one by one in tongs was too slow to meet high demand. Determined to streamline the process, Bell befriended the owners of Mitla Cafe, who eventually showed him how their tacos were made. Bell then took the concept to an engineer and designed a specialized wire jig, a preformed metal rig that held multiple tortillas in a rigid U-shape while submerged in deep fryer vats. This allowed kitchen workers to mass-produce hundreds of durable, shelf-stable, pre-shaped hard shells per hour. In 1962, Bell opened the very first Taco Bell in Downey, California. By standardizing the hard shell and replacing fresh salsas with mild, mass-produced tomato packets, Bell detached the taco from its traditional Mexican roots and re-engineered it as a fast food commodity designed for American drive-thrus. While food purists criticized the hard-shell taco as an inauthentic American invention, its impact was undeniable. Taco Bell expanded rapidly into thousands of locations worldwide, introducing millions of people across the globe to the concept of the taco for the very first time. Today, the global taco market is a multi-billion-dollar industry, spanning everything from humble street carts in Mexico City to Michelin-starred dining and fast food chains on nearly every continent. From ancient Aztec insect delicacies and explosive silver mine lunches to Middle Eastern fusion and global fast food empires, the taco's journey is proof that the best foods are built on culture, adaptation, and constant evolution. Which piece of taco history surprised you the most? The silver mine explosives or the Lebanese shawarma origin? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into food history, hit that like button, share this video with your fellow taco lovers, and subscribe to Gastro Hit so you never miss another episode. Thanks for watching.